This is Q&A with Prof. A, the Ibato kay Doc Bato educational series. The question thrown to us today is, Doc Bato, how do we correct hypernatremia? First is always assess the volume status of your patient. Hypernatremia can be hypovolemic, euvolemic, and hypervolemic. If hypovolemic, correct first with isotonic fluids even if the serum sodium is high. Once stable, proceed with giving your hypotonic fluids. If euvolemic, if possible and able, just ask your patient to drink water. But remember, careful and slow and regulated. If hypervolemic, sodium restriction or even sodium removal with diuretics is advised. Second, consider the speed in correction. If the hypernatremia occurred less than 24 hours, correct it within several hours. If more than 24 hours dehydrated, reduce the serum sodium to around 5 to 10 millimoles per liter per day at a rate of not more than 0.5 millimoles per liter per hour in 24 hours. Third, how much free water to give? In literature, there are 3 methods in correcting hypernatremia. The 3 methods are the classic method, the Adrogué-Madias approach, and the tonicity balance concept. For example, we have a 40-kilogram male with a total body water of 24 liters, which is computed by multiplying the patient's weight by 0.6. He has a serum sodium of 157. The classic method estimates free water deficit by this formula. Keep in mind that our desired sodium is computed as the actual serum sodium minus 10. 10 being the recommended drop of serum sodium so as not to lead to brain edema. Inputting the data, we get a free water deficit of 1.5 liters. If we use D5 water, our IVF prescription will be 1,500 ml for 24 hours, which is around 60 cc per hour. The Adrogué-Madias formula takes on the classical approach but considers the type of fluid that you will infuse, which takes into account sodium and potassium content of the fluid. If we are to use D5 water, it has no sodium and potassium. If 0.9% saline solution, it has 157 sodium infusate. So, we should have a knowledge of how much electrolyte infusate our choice of IV fluid will have. In this case, we use D5 water. Inputting the data, we get negative 6.28 millimoles per liter change in serum sodium. Negative means that 1 liter of D5 water will decrease the serum sodium by 6.28 millimoles per liter. Remember that the rate of sodium correction should be just 0.5 millimoles per liter per hour. So if we divide this from 6.28, we get 12.56 hours. This means that 1 liter of D5 water should run for 12.56 hours or 80 cc per hour to bring down the serum sodium to 147 millimoles per liter. The tonicity balance does not only consider the type of fluid to infuse, but also looks at the urine output and urine electrolytes. This aids in correct balancing of water and electrolytes in the treatment of hypernatremia. In this example, reviewed that this 40-kilogram male received 3 liters of 0.9% saline solution, which has a sodium content of 150 millimoles per liter times 3 liters, equaling to 450 millimoles. We also consider his urine output, which is measured at 4 liters with a urine sodium and potassium content of 200 millimoles. Subtracting the output from the input, we get a deficit of 1 liter and an excess of 250 millimoles of sodium. This explains why he developed hypernatremia. It's not only from a loss of 1 liter of free water, but also a gain of 250 millimoles of sodium. So how do we treat? We replace with 1 liter of T5 water and also remove 250 millimoles of sodium. But bear in mind to consider the following. Number 1, to add to the formula the continuing sensible and insensible water and electrolyte losses, meaning his maintenance sodium requirement. Number 2, these equations are all estimates such that it is prudent to follow the lab works appropriately. And number 3, finally, state the underlying disorder. And this table will show you the usual causes of hypernatremia depending on the volume status. Hypovolemic, usually renal and non-renal. Euvolemic is central or nephrogenic diabetes insipidus. Hypervolemic from congestive heart failure or excess sodium intake from seawater, sodium bicarbonate, or acute tubular necrosis. For more high-yield concepts, do not forget to click the subscribe button.